Well, just because I don't have a subscription for 2022 doesn't mean I didn't get anything from Vinegar Syndrome for January. So yeah, this isn't a full January package I'm unboxing, it is just the things I bought from January that were new. So the new titles that I wanted, and the new partner labels I wanted as sort of an a la carte thing, if you will. There was no automatic titles and then a couple add-ons or anything. And I'll probably do that going forward, mainly because I'm too impatient to wait for the halfway sales if I really want something. And also because, for some reason, the Vinegar Syndrome unboxings are the videos that perform best on this channel. Which is really weird, because some of the worst are my Severin unboxing. You'd think there'd be like a big overlap between Severin and Vinegar Syndrome fans, but no, apparently Vinegar Syndrome, people flock to the unboxing. Severin? Boo, they thumb me down and shit, what the hell. So I will continue unboxing with my Scream knife. Hello, Sydney. So let's see how this is. I mean, if I accidentally kill myself with this knife at some point, at least it'll be memorialized. Well, no one's going to upload it, though, so you're not seeing it if that happens, but, you know, here's what it is. Cut. Alrighty. And then, we put this back for safety. Always safety first. Alrighty, so, let's see what we got in hereabouts. What is in here? You can probably see some of the titles there. Looks like we've got two bubble wrap pouches, so let's start with the first one. In here, we have, well, first and foremost, we have Curfew. Curfew, I've heard, is sort of like a mix between a home invasion movie and a slasher movie. That's the back, just says Death Row. I've heard good things about this. Like, everyone who has, like, the subscribers who got their stuff shipped and delivered first, because even when I was a subscriber, I wouldn't get mine first because, I don't know, FedEx fucking blows, that's why, fuck FedEx. But the people who have gotten theirs first and have watched the movie or who have seen the movie before from its VHS days have said this is really good. So I am looking forward to this. Probably, it's definitely in the higher echelon of the ones I'm looking forward to. Anyway, so what do we got here? This is from 1989, and the extras we have are an interview with one of the actors and an interview with the editor, and then a trailer. That's it. So a little light on the extras. But it does seem like it might actually be a solid film, and it's region-free, apparently, if that matters to you. So that's the first one, Curfew. This was a regular VS title. I'll try to call out what they were as I unbox them. And then, a movie I have seen. This is Dead Heat. Dead Heat, and as you may be able to tell from the back, starred Treat Williams and Joe Piscopo. You know, Joe Piscopo, there was that dead period where all of the famous people from the 70s left SNL, and there was a dark period in the 80s before the better part where they got Phil Hartman and Dana Carvey in that group, the group that sort of I grew up with watching the reruns on Comedy Central. But there was that dark period where it was pretty much just Joe Piscopo and Eddie Murphy. And those were like the two big, like, kind of breakout stars. Joe Piscopo, you know, his career didn't go anywhere. Eddie Murphy, you know, speaks for itself. Treat Williams, I always thought has been kind of an underrated actor, not really well utilized. I remember him growing up a little bit in the 90s. He was like the protagonist of Deep Rising, that fun little aquatic monster movie, and the villain in Billy Zane's The Phantom. But this is one of the few movies that isn't a blind buy from Vinegar Syndrome for me, because it aired on The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs, and that was the first time I saw it, and I was like, wow, this is a really funny movie. It's, it's got some good makeup effects. It's basically just a buddy cop comedy mixed with, like, a Reanimator zombie comedy. So this is the more traditional thing, and this is a 4K. This is a 4K UHD release. It's a little weird that they just gave this a regular slipcover when they've given some other non-VSU or non-VSP 4Ks, like a special like slip case over the slipcover, like Ticks and stuff. Kind of surprised they didn't give that treatment for Dead Heat. I would think Dead Heat was a bigger title than Ticks, which I was a little lukewarm on Ticks. You can go to my letterbox and read all my reviews when I've actually watched these movies. But let's see. So aside from the region-free UHD, and all UHDs I think are region-free, well, I've heard that Scream Factory / Shout Factory has been locking their 4Ks, so fuck them. But the Blu-ray itself seems to also be region-free here. This is from 1988. Our features, we have an archival commentary track with the director and the screenwriter, along with two of the producers. See, there's a new interview with the director, there is a new interview with the visual effects artist, there is a new interview with the second unit director. That seems like that could be interesting. I always like when they interview people they normally don't interview, like, on their own for Blu-ray extras. Like, sometimes they'll be involved in, like, a more encompassing, like, behind-the-scenes documentary or EPK or something, but I always like when they kind of throw that kind of stuff in. Production assistants are sometimes the funniest people to hear from. That's my cat meowing. Let's see, a new interview with the editor, a new interview with the composer, and an archival interview with the makeup effects creator, as well as, trailers and some other stuff. So, seems like a pretty good package, a decent, chunky amount of extras there. So, looking forward to checking that out, since I've seen the movie, and I already know I like it, and so going to see, like, what maybe tidbits are in the commentary and all that good stuff. And then we have the Saturn's Core shot-on-video title. I don't buy all of these, and I was thinking of dying down a little bit on them, because most of them haven't been very good. Like, I really liked Shatter Dead. Shatter Dead was really good. If you read my review I wrote on Letterboxd of that was actually hearted or liked by the director of the film, which was kind of funny. But Shatter Dead was actually really good for a shot-on-video film. And I like the Wave documentary, but some of the other ones have been a little hit or miss, but I've heard good things about this one. This is Sinister, which is sort of I believe it's like a slasher Friday the 13th type shot-on-video film, and that seems to be a bit more my scale. I've also liked some of the AGFA stuff, Scary Tales and stuff. But this is... Well, it's 73 minutes. I'm trying to see if it has the year on it for me. No. Okay, but it's 90s. It's a shot-on-video 90s film. But yeah, this is some criminals. They end up stuck place after a shootout, so kind of like the Reservoir Dogs setup. And yeah, and then there's an axe murderer. So yeah, seemed like it was fun, and I've heard good things from the people who like shot-on-video stuff. So let's see. We have the newly restored director's final cut, which is only 73 minutes. So yeah, most of these shot-on-video films are pretty short. There's an audio commentary with the director-editor, same person. Two isolated audio tracks with music from the composers. Yes, Carl. That's my cat. Let's see, there's the original alternate 1997, so I guess that's the year, Sinister cut, and that's 71 minutes. So the director's cut is only 2 minutes longer. With a new optional retrospective commentary by the director. So the director does separate commentary tracks for the original and the director's cut? That's interesting. See, there's an archival cast commentary with the director, writer-producer, and one of the actors. Another archival audio commentary with the special effects artist. There is a new behind-the-scenes featurette. There is a different behind-the-scenes featurette of the final cut shoot. Oh, did they add extra footage later? Is this, like, special edition George Lucas shit? Maybe that's why. Alright. Let's see, there's an interview with the composer. There is a before and after comparison of the two different versions. It seems like they also changed the spelling of the title. The original version is Sinyster, and then the new version is Sinistre. And then on the slipcover, by the way, that's our axe murderer there. It's the new spelling. So I guess it's had same title, two different spellings for the two different versions. Sure. Maybe the director explains that in these extras. There is vintage 1994 TV news coverage. I like when they do that. I like when, like, local news followed these shot-on-video regional things and they interviewed them for, like, the 10 o'clock news before the Tonight Show came on or something. Those are always, like, fun. They're always slightly demeaning. They're always, like, kind of talking down to these filmmakers in those, which is kind of, disrespectful, but it's still kind of funny. Let's see, there's an outtake reel. There is a short film by the director with optional commentary called Remains. There's behind the scenes of that. And then there's trailers and a reversible sleeve as well. So interesting. I like these like shot-on-video films. I've said this in other unboxings, but they're a quick sit for the most part. So even if you don't like them, they don't go on very long. But they're usually pretty fun. And my local Alamo Draft House still hasn't brought back the Video Vortex screenings that used to be like once a month, 10 o'clock at night on a Friday, and for like $1 a ticket you could see some like shot on video film or some, just VHS oddity. I really hope they bring that back. I really enjoyed that. I miss it. And then Girlfriend from Hell. It's not this particular cover. I'll see if it's when I take the slipcover off. But I used to see this movie on the Blockbuster, specifically video store shelves, all the time. And for some reason, I always thought it might be softcore porn, because even though Blockbuster, like, they didn't stock NC-17 movies, they sometimes edited R-rated movies down for nudity and violence. Blockbuster was a shitty company, and the nostalgia for it's not warranted. The people want nostalgia for video stores, I get that, but Blockbuster specifically was a shitty company. But I used to see, this was the cover. I used to see this cover all the time, and I never rented it. And I thought this movie might be PG-13. I'd have to double check that. There's no rating on here. But when I saw it at the video store, I saw it all the time. They always had like one unrented copy of it. It's kind of the way Blockbuster did, where they had the VHS case and then they had their own like clamshell case behind it, so you knew if it was rented out or not. Not every video store did that. Hollywood Video came along a little bit later and did it, but the video store I grew up with, Major Video, didn't. Well, they did in the later years, actually. But I used to see this all the time, and for some reason I thought it was like a dirty movie or something, and so I never like looked at it or rented it. But I've heard that it's kind of just a silly like comedy, mostly, that it's kind of like juvenile humor. Some people have compared it to what's the name, Rick Sloan, the guy who made like Hobgoblins and shit. I heard it compared to him, which isn't the best thing. But mostly I've heard that if you're on its wavelength, it can be funny, sort of like a not as gross trauma movie almost, just kind of like juvenile 80s horror adjacent humor. And so I thought, why not? This is from Culture Shock. They've become a partner label for Vinegar Syndrome, just like Saturn's Core was the last thing. But I thought, I've seen this so many times. I've even seen it, like, I think it's on like every streaming service too, but I just thought, you know what, why don't I just pick this up? But I think it's one of the more well-known titles that have come out recently from either Vinegar Syndrome or from partner label. But anyway, this is from 1989. Oh, this does say rated R, never mind, so whatever. But for our special features, there's an audio commentary with the director, there's an interview with the producer, there's interviews with a couple different actors, and the creator of Girlfriend from Hell the musical, because every movie needs a musical stage spin-off now. And that is, that looks like that is a maybe a roundtable interview, because it's moderated by Brad Henderson. Everyone knows Brad Henderson from Vinegar Syndrome. He does extras and acquisitions, and he's very active on Twitter, and seems like a very nice, really cool guy. Let's see, there's a music video for Girlfriend from Hell, a still gallery, cast audition footage from the original VHS tape. That seems like it's fun. Remastered original trailer, and then some more trailers from Culture Shock. So, that seems like, well, I'm looking forward to checking that out, seeing, because I'd seen it so many times, like, I have, like, vivid memories of that VHS cover, and I just never bothered to watch it, so I figured, it's about time. And then, packet number dos. So, and it does appear, my Flesh for Frankenstein replacement disc did not come with this. I've heard some people got it, some people didn't. But anyone who ordered Flesh for Frankenstein, the big like 4K 3D Blu-ray set from Black Friday, they were sending out a replacement because I guess the 4K disc specifically had like weird like super saturated color, and they had to fix that. But they didn't send that out, so looks like I'll have to wait for the next time I do an order. And since it's February 1st, the new February titles were released on the Vinegar Syndrome website, so I'll probably order something when I get paid this weekend for later in the month. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I never watched the Fresh Frankenstein 4K. I watched the 3D Blu-ray because I have a 3D television and 3D player. So that's the version I watched. I didn't pop in the 4K, so I don't know. Oh, this is a mirror. This has the sort of case I was expecting for Dead Heat. This is the Scary of 61st. This is VSP number 3, following Censor and following New York Ninja. So this has the outer slip cover. So it has like a mirror here. This is just it's like bloody stucco on the back. And then this is the case. And I've seen this poster for it, but this is a newer movie. as will be evident when I talk about it. So, I heard about this when it was starting to play at film festivals, and that was a tight slipcover, Jesus Christ. That's like Severin tight. Well, alright, not that bad, I'm exaggerating there. But I heard about this when it started making the festival circuit. But it's a newer movie, and it's about these college girls who move into an apartment, and they find out that it was the apartment of Mr. Jeffrey Epstein. I'm sure you all know, Epstein didn't kill himself, the meme and everything, but Jeffrey Epstein was a billionaire, and nobody quite knows where his money came from, and for many, many years, he was molesting and raping teenage girls, and I think even younger than teenage girls. So, taking something that is very much a new news story, and turning it into an exploitation horror movie, horror satire, I've heard decent things about it. Some people have really not liked it, and some people have found it just, they appreciated the fact that it went to a place that most modern movies don't, because it could be considered in poor taste. I think Jay from Red Letter Media had a nice little thing about it in their year-end wrap-up. But I'd heard about it, and then when I saw that Vinegar Syndrome was putting it out as a VSP, I'm like, well, yeah, sure, why don't I get that? I want to see the movie anyway. I know one of the actresses in this, though, is the main actress from the movie Assholes, which I had gotten... I didn't do an unboxing for that one because I only ordered 2 titles in December for the Partners Only month. But I've ordered the movie Assholes, and I really did not like that movie. That movie came across as a pretentious piece of shit trying to punch down at exploitation films. And it was also really weird that the director of that movie is the actress's brother. And so you have the brother directing his sister being fully naked and doing a 69 ass-eating scene. And it just seemed like it's a really weird fucking family. So I didn't like that movie. So I was a little worried knowing that the main actress of that movie is at least one of the main actresses in this. But I don't know, I heard good things. Apparently this will probably be on Shudder a little bit later in the year. But I kind of wanted to get it anyway. So, extras. Oh, this is Region A locked, by the way. I think this is the first Blu-ray I've seen that's region locked that I've bought this month. But yeah, so that's basically it. But, let's see. Extras. There is a conversation, then not an interview, a conversation with the co-writer, director, and actress of the movie. There is a conversation with Betsy Brown, who I believe is the actress from Assholes. There is a conversation with the producer and actor. There is a commentary track with the director, co-director, and co-writer and director, and then the other co-writer and actress. And then there is a different commentary track with film historians and authors Alexandra Heller-Nicholas and Josh Nelson. I don't think I recognize them. There is a Q&A from Beyond Fest 21 with the director. There's a theatrical trailer, a 16-page booklet with an essay by a film historian, a different one than the other 2 on the commentary track, and reversible cover stuff. So, yeah. So, interested to see what I think about this. It seems to be not necessarily a love or hate movie, but a hate or appreciate movie, which is probably better because it rhymes. But either way, even if it's in poor taste, the balls behind it, kind of like Duck the Carbine Massacre, poor taste, but the cojones, And then the VSA that I got, I've heard very bad things about this, but when I saw the title and the basic plot of it, I kind of had to. It is Fortress of America, K with 3 Ks, K. Fortress of America. So this seems to be the new artwork, the newly commissioned artwork. This is a Troma movie, by the way. And then I assume this is the original cover art, where the brave must fight to be free, where you have this man who has, it seems like, a jacket unbuttoned very lowly with all this chest hair, and then bleach blonde in jeans and a halter top. A white halter top with her arms behind her head. I believe this is pinnacle direct-to-video 90s cover art right there. So I believe this is... Oh, what is my number? I'm about almost halfway through. So this is an edition of 5,000, and because I'm not a subscriber, I don't get a low number anymore. This was number 2,367. So a little bit under the halfway mark on Fortress of America. It's like I'm stuttering. So I believe this is, so a band of ruthless mercenaries have set up camp, practicing their violent tactics of war in preparation for an impending revolution. And then when the violence take the lives of the townsfolk, a half-Indian with a bad reputation takes matters in his own hands to protect the community. So basically this is a half-Native American fighting the MAGA insurrectionists of January 6th, but made in 1989. When I saw this, I'm like, oh, this is just fighting against like right-wing insurrectionists. So this is, almost like Surf Nazis Must Die, but brought to the, the pre-MAGA era. This is even pre-fucking Waco if it's 1989. Sometimes Troma was ahead of the curve a little bit. So yeah, I've heard bad things about it. But apparently most of the releases of this have been a heavily censored R-rated version. This is just it in its uncut glory. And this is restored from the camera negative. Region free as well. So, extras. The camera negative newly restored. There's an interview with the writer-director, an interview with one of the actors, interview with one of the other actors, and that's about it. So, not many extras on there, but I was just interested based on the plot. And if it has a lot of Troma-esque violence and nudity, then chances are I'll have some enjoyment from there, even if the movie is complete trash. So, that was definitely up my alley. And then, last but not least, the film I was most excited about, because I've seen this movie more than once, and I've met the star of it, and I absolutely loved it. And that is Tim Ritter's Killing Spree. Now, I'm so happy I didn't buy the Blu-ray from SRS, because by holding out, I was able to buy this edition from partner label TerrorVision without having to double dip. They're all dead, or are they? So, I've talked about this in some other videos, but like I mentioned earlier in this video, the Video Vortex screenings at my local Alamo Draft House, it'd usually be like at 10 o'clock on a Friday night, and it'd usually be $1 a ticket. And one of those times was Killing Spree. Now, Killing Spree isn't a shot-on-video film. I think it was shot on either 16mm or Super 8, and then it was transferred to video, so I think the only existing elements left are the video elements. I don't think the negative was able to be found or whatever. But they screened it there, so my fiancé and myself went, and it is just such a funny movie. But on top of just the humor of the movie, my screening had some guests. There was the star of the film, Asbestos Felt, and there was the guy who plays the handyman who is there to fix the ceiling fan. Because apparently he is not an actor anymore, he's retired from acting, but he lives in the Raleigh, North Carolina area where I am. So he's just a random local, and he found out they were screening, and be like, sure, I'll come over. So they had a Q&A with them, and then after the film was completed, I got my picture taken with Asbestos Felt. And I've seen it since that screening. I used to be a Patreon supporter of Michael Keane. And he does these like Patreon hangouts where you just could watch a movie via cast or whatever. And so watched Killing Spree with all of them as well with a chat, and it was fun. But I was really happy because I had wanted to buy it on Blu-ray, and I kept looking at SRS and like maybe I'll buy them and holding off, and now I got this cool edition here. So that's the slipcover, and this is more of the regular cover. And there's the back of that too, if you can see it beyond the light refracting. Black font on a red background, just the easiest to read, isn't it? But let's see what the features are. So, there is a brand new upscale transfer of the original 1987 video negative, denoised and color grain corrected. There is a new audio commentary with the director, a new interview with Asbestos Felt and Tim Ritter, moderated by some guy I've never heard of. There is a new extensive stills gallery with never-before-seen photos and commentary from director Tim Ritter, a brand new all brand new documentary on the making of Killing Spree with interviews from a bunch of different people involved, as well as Tim Ritter and stuff. Let's see, there's a new trailer for Killing Spree by TerrorVision. Let's see, there's trailers from Twisted Illusions Entertainment, which I believe is just Tim Ritter's company, because he's directed a lot of these movies. A lot of his movies are on SRS, You can buy them on Blu-ray from SRS. Wondering if some of them will get re-released. I think you have one called like Truth or Dare or Hide and Seek or one of those phrases. That was another one he did. I think he made these movies when he was a teenager too, Killing Spree and stuff. He wasn't like a legal adult yet when he made them. Let's see. There's a different making of Killing Spree, the original 60-minute making of documentary from 1993. It's called Blinded by the Blood. There is archival basically, an archival audio commentary with Asbestos Felt and Joel somebody, the original Killing Spree trailers, and a vintage 1994 radio program with H.G. Lewis and Tim Ritter. So this is Region A locked for some reason. Does somebody own the international rights to Killing Spree that they couldn't make it region free? that I don't know why that tickles me. So yeah, there's that. Let's see. This was from 1990. I can't read. 92, maybe. Sure. 93, 92, 93. Okay. But yeah, so that was the one because I've seen this one the most times so far, and I've met the star, and they had a Q&A after, and it was fun, and so this has a special. I'd say of the movies I've seen that weren't just like mixtapes, like the Neon Slime mixtape or the Agfa Horror Trailer Show, of the movies I'd seen at Video Vortex screenings, Killing Spree and Blood Lake were my two favorites. I've seen some other stuff, Kickboxer from Hell and some other stuff, but those were my two favorites. Blood Lake was released on only DVD for Agfa, so I bought the DVD. It's the last time I've bought a plain DVD that's not a Blu-ray, because normally why the fuck would I buy a DVD? But they didn't do a Blu-ray release for it. It's a shot on video film anyway, so it'll only matter so much to be a Blu-ray transfer. But yeah, that's a really funny movie as well. But this is probably better than Blood Lake. But it's definitely better than Blood Lake. There's not 20 minutes of jet skiing scenes for no reason. So I was very happy to add this to the collection. So that is the stack for January 2022. I probably will not be getting as many titles for February, probably be smaller. So I'll decide during February if it's worth doing a video of the unboxing or not. But the damage was 7 titles. So, and of those titles, let's see, 2 were regular titles, because I didn't care about the Caveman movie that they released, and I didn't care about The Forgotten Jolly. And then you got a VSP and a VSA, so things that wouldn't be included with the subscription anyway, and then 3 partner labels. So that was the damage for January. So, what'd you think? Have you seen these movies? Have you not? Are you interested in any of these movies? Let me know in a comment below, because I like responding to comments and having a conversation about movies and stuff. We could do it over on Film Twitter, or we can do it on Letterboxd, but you know, let's do a little powwow here. As always, you can read my reviews on Letterboxd at Leninhawk, or you can follow me on Twitter at David Leninhawk. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all the different YouTube-y things, just so you can keep advised of when I can get off my sorry ass to do stuff. I'm hoping I'll have time to do a Dave's Faves that is specifically timed for February, so that might be coming next down the road. But otherwise, have a good day, everyone, and I'll see you.